What I have here is just a regular cup of coffee, and today, I want to try and extract its soul. To do this, it's also relatively easy, where the first step is to just dump all of this hot coffee into this silicone bowl, and to toss it in the freezer. Then, after waiting several hours, I can pop out the now solid block, and I can very carefully split it into two pieces. Okay, that part was mostly just for fun, and what I actually need to do after putting it all back together is load it onto this large plastic tower thing and slide this other large piece of plastic over it. With all of this in place, I can then turn on my vacuum pump, which will pull a strong vacuum inside of the plastic dough. This should then cause all of the ice that's in the coffee to start vaporizing at a much faster rate, where eventually, all of the ice should disappear, and I should be left with just the soul of the coffee. Also, because there's almost no oxygen present, and because I'm not using any heat to get rid of the ice, the flavor of the coffee that's left behind should stay almost exactly the same, and overall, this process is generally known as freeze drying. But with all that being said, all I had to do now was just leave it like this and wait for all the ice to disappear, and things were going really well until about 3 days in when the power went out, which caused it to lose vacuum, and for the last bit of ice in it to melt. I was thankfully able to salvage things though by just quickly refreezing it and pulling a vacuum again, and later that day, this was what I was eventually left with. Just a small layer of crunchy, crusty stuff, which should have been essentially pure coffee, and what I had here was barely a few grams. Eating it like this also wasn't exactly super pleasant, which wasn't very surprising. Oh my god. And what I ended up doing instead was just shooting it all back into a bunch of hot water. This is because what I had made was basically just instant coffee, which, at least in theory, should have been able to easily redissolve, and I really wanted to see how it compared to what I started with. That's so hot. But it's coffee. It tastes exactly the same. It's good.